and welcome to another episode of Braxus Photography Fun. Well, today I am going to shoot some rolls of Delta 400. One of them I shot in the past, and I'll show those results here. But I also shot two more rolls of Delta 400 in 35mm just in the last day, and I want to show those results as well. Now, Delta 400 is a film that I didn't particularly know too much about. I didn't try very often, that kind of thing. I was kind of stuck on traditional grain films, and T-grain films, if I was ever going to use them, I'd be using T-Max 400. I don't particularly like T-Max 100, but that's another story. So anyway, I wanted to give Delta 400 a try, and I did so a few years ago. And I also thought that I'd shoot some more rolls of this recently and add that to this video. Anyway, Delta 400 is sort of like a T-grain film, but not completely. It's a slightly different type of T-grain film that Ilford calls their cubic grain, I believe. And it's got a really lovely look to it. It's finer grain than their traditional grain films like HP5. HP5 is another film I didn't particularly warm to, but I also used recently in this last year, and found that it works a little bit better when it's pushed to stop. So anyway, Delta 400, when I shot some rolls of this, it's got a really good contrast to it, and which is a thing I like about black and white films. It builds up contrast a little bit easier than some other films like HP5, which I find rather flat looking. And Delta 400 has got a very Tri-X-y look to it, a Kodak Tri-X film. Tri-X is one of my favorite black and white films, and when I shot Delta 400, I thought this looks an awful lot like Tri-X. So that was one of the reasons why I decided to get some more rolls of Delta 400. Now, it's hard to choose between which black and white films I use these days. I typically use fine grain films in the 25 to 100 speed. I don't use 400 speed too often, but when I do, it is mostly because I want more of a grain look to the image, and also because I just like the look of the film itself. So anyway, let's get on with that. Let's look at some samples of Delta 400 that I shot a couple years ago, and that I shot in the last week. So let's take a look at those now. So now that I got a roll of Delta 400 loaded in the camera, let's go shoot some pictures on a couple rolls of Delta 400. Finally went down a road here where there's no traffic and a trail. I basically am using an Elan 7 with a 50mm lens and trying to find subjects of interest. Well, today is a fairly overcast day. The sun was out earlier, but unfortunately I missed it by shooting time. Starting to rain just a touch, but not too bad. So the shots, we'll have to see how they turn out with this. really enjoyed those results off of Delta 400. It does show the qualities that I really like in black and white films. It's got a really lovely look to it, and I don't mind the grain pattern for a cubic kind of grain that's similar to T-Max films. Just thinking that when I use Delta 400 in the future, it'll probably be because I want a Tri-X looking film, but I want a finer grain than Tri-X, so that'll be my choice there. And yeah, so anyway, I hope you care to comment, like, and subscribe on my videos, and we'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. Well, thank you for watching, and aye and goodbye. Eh?